Cheers to one and all!
Good evening and happy holidays. My name is Tyler, and here at the Malcolm Hotel, we're doing something a little special this year. We're going to be teaching you at home how to make mulled wine. Traditionally, mulled wine is a celebrated drink all over the world every year for Christmas. Essentially, it is your red wine. You can add oranges, cinnamon, anything to really liven up the drink. We do have many different types of spirits we can add to the drink this evening. We do have some Saint Remy cognac or Stoli vodka and Grand Marnier along with spiced rum as well. Now tonight, I've already started warming up some mulled wine here, some wine here. Tonight we'll be using some Station Cabernet Sauvignon. For roughly, if you want around 2 glasses, about 2 cups will do, or if you want to have a little bit more tonight, the more the merrier, I always like to say. Now, I was talking about oranges, cloves, cinnamon, everything like that. What I've done here is create a little bit of a tea bag, if you will. Put all your ingredients inside of it and then pop it right inside the warming of the wine. Essentially, it'll infuse and incorporate all those ingredients into the mulled wine. Excellent. So we are warming it up just a little bit here. Now, at home, you can honestly put in whatever you'd like in this drink. If you're not an alcohol fan and you just don't want to drink, but you love the taste of mulled wine, you can put the wine to a boil, and that'll eliminate all alcohol and still get that mulled wine taste. Now, if you do want to taste the wine like myself and get a little extra alcohol, I do have a couple options here. As I said earlier, we do have our spiced rum, our Grand Marnier, our Stoli vodka, and our Saint Remy VSOP. Any of these ingredients would be great in a mulled wine. My personal favorite would be a little of the Saint Remy. It is a little just on the sweeter side, which kind of complements the wine there because it does have a little bit of a high acidity. So we're just gonna do 1/2 ounce in there and 1/2 ounce of Grand Marnier as well. Now there is already orange in that little tea bag that I put into the wine. However, I like a little bit more, just a better overall orange citric flavor to it. As well, what I've done just behind the scenes, I've created a chai simple syrup. So essentially I've boiled a pot of water and added sugar as well, so equal parts, and then added a few chai tea bags and turned it into a really, really nice syrup here. Now I'll just add probably about 3/4 of an ounce in there, just to give it that sweetness, kind of that wintry feel to it. And by the looks of it, our wine has come to a boil, so it is perfect temperature right now. So just want to take that off the burner there and essentially just pour it right into our glass. There we are there. Excellent. Now you can garnish it with whatever you'd like. I like to do an orange, add a little bit of cherries cranberries in here, just to give it a little bit of a Christmassy feel, decoration garnish, if you will. And just to incorporate everything, if you want to get your cinnamon stick, give it a nice little stir, pop it in there just for some extra added flavor. And here we have our Malcolm mulled wine. I'd like to wish you all a safe and Merry Christmas from my family here at the Malcolm to yours wherever it may be this Christmas season. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your holidays. Ooh, delicious.
Hi, welcome to my kitchen. So, what are we doing for you today? We are going to make some special, awesome cookies just for Santa. And these are the best cookies that you can do for Santa because anybody can make them, and they're absolutely fantastic. So, will you come on in and let's have a look at what we're doing here and make some great cookies today. So, we're going to do our grandma's famous shortbread cookies. These are the cookies that my grandmother made for Santa and always got lots of presents out of it. So what we're going to do today, we're going to start off with some butter, which we're just going to put into our mixer here. Then our sugar. And we're just going to mix this up. So what we're doing right now is what we call creaming together the butter and sugar. This is actually going to dissolve the sugar into the butter to make a nice, smooth, velvety cookie. You want to do this on probably about a 4 or 5 on the mixer. If you don't have a mixer like this, if you have like a hand mixer, you can do that in a bowl as well. So as we can see, the butter and sugar are getting nice and whipped up together here. We're going to turn this off just for a second. Here we're going to add a little bit of cornstarch, just a tiny pinch of salt, and our flour. And I'm going to start this back up again on low because if we go too high, we have flour volcano everywhere. And we're just going to mix this until all the dough comes together into a ball. Scrape down the side of our bowl. And it's at this stage now where I'll add the vanilla. But if you have a vanilla extract at home, which is a little bit around here, it's just as good. So now we can see our dough forming just enough to kind of bind together right now. And here's where we want to stop it. I'm going to take this out. Push this all off our paddle. So now we got this dough we can form into a ball. Let's make sure we get every little bit out of our mixer. So from here, it should be almost the consistency of Play-Doh. So we're going to take this and form little balls. We should get probably at least 12 out of this. And we're just going to put them right on our tray. And then the next step is to take your thumb, hence why it's called a thumbprint cookie, and we're just going to push a little divot in the center of each one. And this is where the extra good stuff's going to go, because we're going to put a little bit of jam inside of these. So inside each one, you're going to need probably 2 spoons for this. And put just enough jam not to quite go over the top, because it'll make a mess in our oven. We don't want to quite do that. All right, so now we are going to put these into an oven at 350 degrees and cook them for about 17 minutes. These are cooking. We can do a little garnish of decorations. So if you want to get your favorite kind of chocolate bar or chocolate, break it down a bit, put it in the microwave and melt it up. It makes a great garnish. So now that our cookies have cooked, we now have these beautiful cookies just right out of the oven. So just to make these a little extra fun for Santa, we take our chocolate and we're just going to drizzle it right over top. Because this little secret is how you get extra presents from Santa this year. Wink, wink. And these are homemade raspberry jam filled shortbread cookies.
"'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. And Mamma in her kerchief, and I in my cap, had just settled down for a long winter's nap. When out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprang from the bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters and threw up the sash. The moon on the breast of the new fallen snow gave the luster of midday to objects below, when what to my wondering eyes should appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer. With a little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in a moment it must be St. Nick. More rapid than eagles his coursers they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donner and Blitzen, to the top of the porch, to the top of the wall, now dash away, dash away, dash away all. As dry leaves that before the wild hurricane fly, when they meet with an obstacle, mount to the sky, so up to the house top the coursers they flew, with the sleigh full of toys and St. Nicholas too. And then in a twinkling I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew in my hand and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was dressed all in fur, from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard of his chin was as white as the snow. The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him, in spite of myself. A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know that I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work, and filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk, and laying his finger aside of his nose, and giving a nod, up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew, like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim, ere he drove out of sight, "Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night."